Welcome back, America, to another American Issues episode. I'm your host, Tyson Johnson. With me, we have Chase, Danny, Matt, and the Bird. We're talking today about the new law that was signed into effect today by Governor Jerry Brown, $15 an hour for minimum wage. Chase, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think this is going to backfire on them because as the minimum wage rises, the cost of living is going to rise. And you're still going to be stuck with the same problem. Anybody who's not living within their means is still going to have the same problem. You're still not going to be able to live with your means, just doing it with more money.
I agree. Most people see this as a problem because as the cost of living rises, minimum wage is rising, cost of living is going to rise. I mean, everything's just going to rise. I mean, you know, they're trying to make it more affordable for people to be able to pay their bills. But if cost of living rises because their benefits are rising, their pay is rising, well, then what's the point? It all equals out.
If we were to switch it to another thing, let's say someone couldn't drive an old beat-up car. Would you give them a brand new car thinking that they could drive that?
No, I wouldn't. Very good. Danny, what do you think?
Yeah, just to go along with Chase, I think it will be kind of a level ground. It'll just the cost of living will go up, and it'll just be like they're making $9 an hour now. But I was just talking to a friend today who owns a couple of businesses, and he says if that's going to really affect the small business owner. And I work with a lot of business owners, and I've been hearing a lot of talk about it. And they're like, I'm about to close a shop and go work for $15 an hour, me and my wife. And, you know, we'll be doing all right. So I think it's going to affect the small business owner as well. So that's something that we all have to take into effect as well.
Matt?
Well, I agree with Chase with the cost of living. I think it's completely ridiculous. I've gone to school. I've worked 20 years at a job, and I'd be making maybe $11 more than them, which is ridiculous. And my salary isn't going up, but my cost of living will. So I'll be making actually less money because of what they just did.
Let's think about all the people that have actually gone to college, spent thousands and thousands of dollars, lots of years of education, and they're barely making $15 an hour. Let's think about the law enforcement officers, the sheriff's department, where they start off at $16.75 an hour. Or how about our servicemen and women who are actually out there risking their lives to give us this great country and secure us, and they're making a hell of a lot less than $15 an hour. Is that fair, Bird?
No, it's not fair. But a lot of people confused though right now, because if you remember back in the day, fast food restaurant business was for the young kids to learn how to work. Technically, that was it. They go to McDonald's, they get a job, they learn the work ethic, they get paid, they go buy their car, whatever. Now the world is so messed up, like you got older people that's in McDonald's and they need a set of life, so they're going off of like, well, we're old, we work at McDonald's and we should get paid $15 an hour. It wasn't even planned for that. It just, the world took a turn and now you're in that situation that I think it's unfair that you should get $15 an hour just because they messed up the economy. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I think it should go back to the old days. Kids used to work at Taco Bell, McDonald's. They used to run it. They used to get paid. Now you got older people that are trying to make careers off of stuff that you never would thought that you would make a career off of working at McDonald's. So now you're trying to get set at McDonald's, and where you gonna go from there? Exactly. So I just don't think it's fair. I just think they're trying to find a scapegoat out of what they messed up.
There's also one little thing that they didn't think of. I mean, the United States as a whole, as an academy or educational, we're low.
Mm-hmm.
You raise the minimum wage, they're not going to want to go to school. They're not going to want to do that because they can just get a minimum wage job making $15 an hour.
Exactly.
You know, so what's the incentive of them going to school to try to better their career? Granted, right now it's hard for college graduates to get jobs, but that may change.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but that's also the economy. That's also our ego in the United States saying we demand this amount of money because we're a college graduate, and you know they don't want to take the $15 an hour job that they're offered now because they think they should deserve more.
So what are some of the repercussions that we think we're going to see from this?
Personally, one thing I would see, like for instance, McDonald's. I worked at McDonald's. I started there at 16, and I made I think like $6.80 an hour when I started.
Oh,
And then it
$4.25.
worked
Mine
up. The
was
most I was
$3.70.
making was $8 an hour as a manager at 18.
Wow.
So this is going to change up whether or not people will try to move up in there. So Bird mentioned how if people are looking for McDonald's as a career, they're not looking at a manager's job for a career at $15 an hour, because the managers won't be making that.
Yeah.
They're never going to be looking at I can just work as a burger flipper for $15 an hour. So this is going to change, kind of like what Matt said. This is going to change people's focus to I don't have to risk too much to make a decent salary. I don't have to show that I can offer a service that's worth $15 an hour. They're just going to give it to me anyway. So it takes the incentive away. It also changes up how corporations are going to be dealing with the average worker. Your average worker, your average pay. It's going to be harder for people to get raises because they're already paying you so much. It's going to be harder for them to determine where to set prices at, because they have to cover their overhead is going to triple
Absolutely.
because their minimum wage is going to almost triple. It's going to be horrible. It's going to become down on the business owners and the taxpayers, and it's just going to build up a bigger problem. But the funny thing is, it'll be the same problem, just with more money.
Danny, what do you think? Any repercussions?
Yeah, I think in the future we'll probably see a lot of small businesses start closing up just because of the overhead is so high. It's high now for some businesses that I talk to, but yeah, I think that'll be a problem also. Yeah, like Chase said, I think it will hinder a lot of people like that would want better, but then they're just gonna settle for a job like, fast food. I thought fast food was like a stepping stone, and it is a stepping stone, and you start there to get some work experience and to go through school while you have a part-time job. But now people are just gonna be like, I'm gonna support my family by flipping some burgers or making some
It was
tacos.
like an 80-year-old
So-
man at the cash register at McDonald's said, "Maybe take your order, please." And he was like, "Dude, ain't you supposed to be retired by now?" Like,
Why? I can make $15
yeah,
an hour.
exactly. Like,
Make
you
it
know.
Well, there's one other thing that they didn't think of. And I worked for the county. I worked as an eligibility worker for 13 and a half years. The mentality of a lot of the clients, a lot of this is if they get a job that's going to get them off of welfare, they're going to quit that job to keep the welfare. Making $15 an hour, unless they raise the minimum of standards for welfare, they're going to be off welfare. They're going to be off food stamps. They're going to be off all these things. They're not going to want that. They're going to quit. We're going to have a lot more unemployment people, a lot more people on aid, and it's still not going to help what they're trying to fix.
Let's think about what could possibly happen here. I saw something on Facebook that I thought was great, and it was a McDonald's, and I'm not sure where it was, probably in Japan or something. They had these high-tech machines where you order all your food right there on the machine. So at $15 an hour, maybe it's worth more to the company to go ahead and get all these machines, fire the workers, because the machines can just sit there and work on a little bit of electricity instead of paying $15 an hour for 10, 15, 20 kids.
And they just pay the
And
cooks.
all they have to do is just pay the cooks.
Yeah.
And maybe one person to watch the machines, like at a self-checkout at
Monitor.
Walmart or Winco or something.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Because they already getting to the fact that you can self checkout. Boo.
Yes.
Boo. The only thing around
By
when you get
yourself.
stuck, that person called and
Yep.
Yeah.
cold.
One person
Exactly.
can take care of
Yeah.
6 or 7, 8 registers.
Yeah.
Makes
I
it
think
easy.
that's a very
Yeah.
true reality, because look at all the corporations sending all their customer service, their call centers and everything overseas, because it's cheaper. That's what this minimum wage is going to do. It's going to push everything to go overseas or to do more technology or whatever, because it's more cost effective that way.
Absolutely. Well, okay, America, it's up to you. Let us know what you think. Now, they got what they wanted. Let's see if they want what they got. And once again, our issue here today, here in America, is the $15 an hour wage increase. That's for minimum wage. That started here in California. Congratulations, Jerry Brown. You're an idiot. Let's see what happens next. Thanks again for watching American Issues. I'm your host, Tyson Johnson. I want to thank Chase, Danny, Matt, and of course, the Bird. And we'll see you next time right here on American Issues.